Welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach, Coach Franchise, directly for the beautiful country of Thailand on the great Thursday, thankfully, night, April 13, 2023. Happy New Year, Thai. This is what's going on here with a lot of water everywhere you go. You look like crazy about this, but this is going on here tonight. Mr. ENORTAP is going to be late. Possibly you'll be show up a little bit later during the show. We have some kind of problem with at work at this moment, so hopefully he's going to join us before the end of the show. Tonight, this is the most busy time of the year because 15 game is on the program. This is the end of the season. We have an extra 2 game tomorrow night, I believe. And that's it. That's all for the season 2022-2023. We already know that 6 teams are going to participate to the playoff for the upcoming 2022-2023 playoff time. And then we're going to go through some news around the Montreal Canadiens. Not much to tell about them until the fact, like Rick said, this is the end. 1 more to go. And that's it. That's all for the Montreal Canadiens. But you have a lot of other news around the league, what's going on. And then, of course, we're going to prepare for the playoff. What's going to happen for us. We're going to we're going to let you know next week what's going on with the schedule. We don't know yet which series I'm going to follow for the upcoming playoff. We are a great night of hockey. Yesterday, we have only 3 games on the program. It was easy night to watching. A lot of people are 3-0 for that. 3-0 for the Montreal Canadiens. Mike Hoffman, by the way, just heard is going to be removed of the lineup tonight. Condola is going to be the player going to play for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. I just see the news happening right there. Before we start, we're going to welcome everybody. We'll start with RJ Calabro is in the house. As you mentioned, the Colorado Avalanche announced Gabriel Landeskog is going to miss the 2023 Stanley Cup playoff. Really interesting about that one over there. Thanks so much to let us know. We have a final Women World Championship at this moment going on. The Canada winning 1-0 after the first period. Team USA won 3-0 against Germany. And Czechia beat the Finland 2-1. Claude Richard from Ottawa is in the house. Thanks so much for all the likes. Our friend Rick Bengal is in the house. Thanks so much for your kind of word. Rick, always a pleasure to welcome you back in the house. Thanks so much. Our friend from Sweden, Mr. Jerry, is in the house. Welcome back, Jerry. Thanks so much, very kind of you. We have Joseph Lahem, exactly from the great city of Houston, is in the house tonight. Sometimes we have deals, sometimes we have no deal. One thing we know, we have the real deal that is in the house. Thanks so much, Mr. Deal. William McClary back in the house tonight. Always a pleasure having you aboard tonight. I'll listen out right now 50 years ago. Yep. Will be interesting to see what's going on for the playoff this year. Thanks so much, Mr. William. Won a 4-game parlay last night. Congratulations, Mr. Real Deal. He did it again. Here we go. And for the last time of the year, he is back in the house somewhere, somehow. I don't know where he's right now. One thing we know. He's in the house, and ladies and gentlemen, we have to welcome back Mr. Dixon Automotive Group is in the house with the white Nissan. We need to have some kind of donuts, Mr. Dixon, for your white Nissans. It's going to be really quick inside of the house. Jennifer waiting for the meal. Today. No goaltender, we absolute about this, Rick. Then we have the Captain Cook is in the house. And Rick Kane is in the house too. Very good. That's what we got so far. Glad to having each one of you. And Vinny James, exactly from the Ottawa, is back with us tonight. That's what happening, guys. That's what we only got so far in this show, the warm up show. Like I said, and I thought maybe try to catch up a little bit later if you can. This is, guys, the end of the season. This is the end, guys. By the way, the warm up show. We're not tomorrow. We're not sure because this time of the year here in Thailand, this is the new year. This is a packed house everywhere. Um, it's everywhere. I went out last night, not the out late, but I went out to make some kind of video for my other channel, and it's everywhere. You get water everywhere. If you are in the tuk tuk, you on every bar have some kind of gun, water gun. It push you water on you. Really interesting time. It's funny thing to see that. I'm learning about that, but yeah, that's what's happening about me. So this is complete the warm up show of the season. Going to consist with the result tomorrow. So if you have to send your result of the tomorrow, then I'm going to give you the result next week. For me, after that, we'll go take a couple of days off. We have no hockey after that, so we have no show tomorrow, Friday, no show Saturday, and we have to go all the way to Sunday. At brunch, your Sunday rendezvous with Marco Darabe is going to shut down or go to finish this show. And then Sunday night, we're going to do the review of the Montreal Canadiens, recap of the year for the Montreal Canadiens Sunday night. So possible Marco and ENORTAP join me, or one of the two going to be with me. And they're going to consist a normal program next week. Monday night is going to be all about the playoff series. Monday night, and then we're going to go Tuesday, and every night after that we're going to do at least 1 or 2 games per night, and then that'll be the playoff 2023. May 8th, don't forget the NHL draft, and then we have to go to the NHL draft in June, and then after that we're going to go to the UFA live in July 1st, and this is the most important date we got until July. After that we're going to take a couple of weeks break for the channel. When I say break, guys, now we shut down everything. We just have, 1 or 2, 3 show per week during the summer. So that's what's happening before the year number 4 going to return next season in September. So that's why to give you a little bit information about what's going on and see what we have in the chat. Captain D is in the house. Danny T is in the house. Awesome to hear that. Mr. Teza is in the house. And Teza, she's in Montreal right now with the Boston Bruins. Not a problem, Danny. We appreciate a lot. I didn't have no time to watching this. I will definitely look about this. Mr. Run with Kings is in the house. Glad to hear that, Tessa. Tessa, she's worked with the Boston Bruins. She's ready to rock and roll the last final game before they return home. It takes a couple of days off. And then after that, they're going to be ready for the playoff NHL. Then he said, is that coach on the Silver Fort Edge? And here we go now. That's great to hear that, Mr. Dixon. To have from the Nissan to the Ford. Congratulations about that one over there. So let's move on. What we got for you guys tonight on this great evening. First of all, what got your attention in our tap? Well, in our tap, will be Coach Frenchy tonight. We have 3 games on the program last night. Really interesting game. First of all, let's start with the Calgary Flame. Won by the score 3-1 yesterday. Zadorov, unbelievable season. No, everybody talk about the negativity about the Flame don't make the playoff and the trade with Goodrow UFA, and then the trade for Huberdeau and Wegar, the signature of Kadri. Very bad performance overall. The Max Strom, who can go the way like Sutter, but Zadorov nowhere. He has over 14 goals now this year, and he became one of maybe the biggest surprise of this team. The Calgary Flame won, but they scored 3-1 yesterday against San Jose Sharks, and this is to see what's going on sort of somewhere with the Flame, but. Overall, this is a disappointment season for the Calgary Flame when they are out of the playoff after they make some kind of change on the off summer. On the flip side, the New York Islanders took care about their destiny for the playoff. They beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. The score does not show exactly what the game looked like. If you follow the game exactly we did last night, the play-by-play, the Islanders dominate the Montreal Canadiens. They just Montembeault, just a great performance again for the Montreal Canadiens. He at least make 3 big saves. If not, it will be 6-2 easy for the New York Islanders. And Montreal have only 18 shots, I believe, with 19 shots. And then Islanders, they took care about their business to make the playoff. Nelson with 2 goals yesterday, 35 and 36, I believe, for them. A team with Zorokin going to dominate them all the way to where they want to be the end for them, because this is really the piece of the biggest piece of the puzzle for them. Zorokin may be surprised by the goal of Nick Suzuki. For me, this is maybe the best goal of the Montreal Canadiens this year. Nick Suzuki on breakaway on the shoulder, and he tipped the puck with one hand, and he threw the puck over the left shoulder of Zorokin to get that goal. But not good enough for the Montreal Canadiens. They got what they want to get is another loss, because they want to finish 5th and the standing. They have one more game to go tonight. They got the Boston Bruins, so we'll be interested. We're going to talk about Montreal-Boston in the next couple of minutes, so don't go nowhere. Finally, game number 3, no indication for nothing, honestly, although the fact that the Star continues to now finish take in charge about the first position in the Metropolitan Division. Beat the St. Louis Blues 5-2. They go to play again tonight, back-to-back game. This time will be in Dallas and American Airlines. Dallas, they're rolling. I think one thing we don't talk too much about the last 10 game in the NHL is the Dallas Star. They are, I think, in 7-1-2 the last 10 game. They really prepared their playoff, their momentum. Sergei, 21 goals. Road Hands have an amazing, great year with 37 goals, I believe he is right now. And already know with Pavelski, with 1,000 points this week for his career. Jason Robinson, over 40 goals. What a great team for the Dallas Star. Is going to be at the end. All depends on Jake Ottinger, the goaltender. But again, the Dallas Star beat the St. Louis Blues by the score 5-2. With that part, I will said to you the 3-star of the night last night. I had to go, guys, with Zadorov, a hat trick. What a great performance for the big giant defenseman. A trade from the Chicago Blackhawks. Then Brock Nelson, 2 goals to get a Montreal Canadiens. Wyatt Johnson, the rookie for the Dallas Star, over 20 goals this year with the team. And then finally, I have to mention, David Levi was the really make an impact for the Buffalo Sabres the last 10 days at least with the team. Really impressive performance for the young man, 6 foot. But we got another goalie under 6 foot. His name is Dustin Wolf. We wait for him for over 2 years now to play for the Calgary Flame, and he was a goaltender between the pipe yesterday against the San Jose Sharks, and he stopped 23 save yesterday for the save percentage of 958% for them. For Wolf, Wolf was his first debut in the NHL, so first W and first opportunity. This is a player, guys, we're going to hear a little bit more. Wolf and Levi, 2 young goaltender at small package. Another Zaros. Both of them are 6 foot, but they have really different path of their career. Levi used NCAA. Wolf used with the WHL with Everett Silver Tip. He's always been a great goaltender. Both of them performing at the different level. Team Canada for Levi, Northeastern for Levi versus Wolf. So that's what we got tonight on this 3 game happening last night. We know we have 15 game. We have a few people knock the door here, guys. So let's see what we got here. Go from there. Tessa, Texan, RJ. Thanks so much. Mike Hoffman out day to day. We have day to day for the rest of the summer. The first one came out the Danny T for the Tampa Bay Series Drop 1000. Wonderly won the Amos about that will be happening. We have Mr. ENORTAP knock the door. We're going to be interesting. If ENORTAP show up, we're going to remove his contract, his picture over there. Mr. ENORTAP, welcome back in the house. Thanks so much. I still your show. I talked about a 3 game already, so I'll give you the time. And welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry about that. A lot of work.
It's okay. Never too late.
Yes, of course.
Well, we can restart everything, Mr. ENORTAP. So what have got your attention last night?
Not much in that in those 3 games from yesterday, that's for sure. It was a very quiet night from the perspective of games and real implications going on. But I think tonight we're going to see some major decisions being made. I mean, the most significant thing yesterday, obviously, was that the Islanders punched their ticket to the playoffs, which I didn't think was too much in doubt. They played their typical type of game. I think the score was a little bit more complimentary to Montreal in this case. St. Louis, again, Dallas has everything to play for. St. Louis has nothing to play for. So the 5-2 score does not really surprise me. And, the pressure's off. Calgary wins, right? Here we go, 3-1 victory. Some a great, I think, a great performance as well by Dustin Wolf, who played his first game, made 23 out of 24 saves. I mean, the story here was really Capo Kakkonen, who faced 48 shots and made 46 saves. So that's really what kept San Jose in this game. But of course, they prevailed. Calgary did, and here we are today.
Yeah, absolutely about that. Great comment. We have a few people knock the door. Willie Snyder, Zeph Lecave, and we have Run with Kings is in the house. And I have someone else, Rancock. I don't know. I missed someone over there, but Pierre Martin, Willie Snyder, and Zeph Lecave. Here we go. All in the house, Mr. Tap.
Great. Welcome, everyone.
So that's great to see that. We just talked about my 3-star of the night, so that's pretty good. Just want to remember, yesterday we did a video. Do you think Sarkowski is still the #1 pick? Yes, no, or maybe? In that video, I compared the 4 players, Mr. Tap, Logan Coley, Shane Wright, and David Chirecek. So what I did is inside of that video, guys, I just gave you a little bit the information what they accomplished so far. So during the year 22-23 season, and then I just compared the number and the question. I will ask you, Mr. Tap, the next couple of minutes. Do you still believe the Montreal take the right pick? We still believe Sarkowski is the #1. Who is #2? Who is #3? Or who is #4? And then I make another video, guys. You follow me. Not a big video. It's about the Suncan 2023, the night of all the crazy walls going on around the tail end right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can tell you that. I've never seen this in my life, but I had to make that video so you can follow me on the Frenchie and Thailand. So, first up, I'll be asking this question because that's happening. Do you still believe Sarkowski, if you're doing the NHL draft tonight, it would be your first pick, and then who would be #2, #3, #4 of the 4 players I just mentioned to you?
Well, it's really hard to say, Coach. I think it's one of those things when a draft occurs, you can't just base it on 1 year and what they've done or not done. The individual, let's say, top 5 or even top 10 draftees. I think it's something that you have to look at over the course of at least 5 years, right? And then you can start critiquing it appropriately. Like if you're just looking at numbers, the automatic conclusion is no, we didn't pick the right guy because we see more development right now and not Shane Wright, of course, because they're very comparable in that perspective in terms of their productivity. But Cooley had a good year, but not at the NHL level. I mean, it was at his level again. He was a Hobie Baker nominee as well, even though he didn't win. But quite an achievement. To me, it looks like, just like looking forward, it's really the 2 defensemen that are going to stand out, Jiricek and Nemec. I think that those are the 2 that, when we look at this objectively, let's say 5 years down the road, we're going to say maybe we should have gone with a defenseman.
Yeah, possible. Would be interesting about that one. I still believe Sarkowski was the right choice for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
If you look about the 7-8 months, I'm not looking for the future, but for what I said this year, I don't think I would say to you, the one is really past Shane Wright, is really Logan Coley. Coley have an amazing, great year with the Minnesota Gopher. You can see how talented he is. The only problem for him is the same thing with anybody. He's a small package, so he's another small package. But you see our HP yesterday, Mr. Antap, like for the last couple of game with
Absolutely.
Montreal
Yeah.
Canadian, but that's his
What was it?
Logan Cooley, but 10 time talented skill. So that's his. So he's a small player, but he's not afraid to go in front of the net and everything like that. He's always performing everywhere he go. He's a driver. When I said driver, he make plays. Great skater, great hands, great vision. He have everything. The only thing compared is 6, 7 inches smaller at Sarkoski. So, like I said in the video,
Absolutely.
Montreal won with a raw toolkit versus Cooley, but the stock market of Cooley is rising, is getting closer with Sarkoski. Then after that, Wright and Cherechek, pretty much. Wright have a good year in the OHL. He have a 2-point average per game. Unfortunately, he fall apart again for the second year, back-to-back years at the first round of the playoff.
Yeah.
Is it a sign? I'm not sure. But for what we saw this year with AHL and the NHL and the junior, I think he's going to be a center number 2C, 2 center. And NHL, I don't see number 1. He's going to be behind Mathieu Bernier. And I think that would be a good fit for them. Is a great hockey player. David Cherechek, we have only one thing him, is his skating. That's the only problem he has. His skating is only average, and that would be he need to improve if he want to become. He's a great big giant defenseman. Um, he have everything to become a Victor Edmond if he was a better skater. Unfortunately, he does not. So he's going to be less of Edmond, but he can see the one-timer shot. He's a great hockey. We don't know yet what happening with the rest. Right? I'm talking about Nemec. We don't know yet with Gauthier. Is another one over there. Who they going to performing after that? The pick number 5, 6, 7 I'm talking about, and that'll be the rest of the group. But right now, if I have to Montreal Canadian, I go the same direction. Now, I don't say I will do the same path like they did with Sarkoski, said keep him only in NHL. But as a pick one right now, you cannot delay. You cannot missing a 6'4" guys at 220 pounds at that moment. You need those kind of players. He is unique.
Yeah,
He is
absolutely.
unique, and then will be interesting to see what's happening about that.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
We
Like,
have a few people in that.
especially in Montreal's
Go ahead.
case.
Sorry.
Right. I'm just saying, especially in Montreal's case, right? Like they're not a terribly tall team, and this definitely helps. Now, you don't draft based on those needs. You always try to take the best athlete, and that's available. But you know what? You got to give him time. Like this guy's just turned 18. I mean, he was 17 most of the year here, and it's quite a learning curve, and it's going to take time. Like look at Jack Hughes, same kind of start, and now look at where he's at. So it took time for him to get to that stage.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Great comments. We have a few comments for people in the chat from Zeph with Rick, Pierre Martin. We have Jerry. You guys continue to get this. When okay, I cannot look at what I hope to see. I look at the real absolute evidence. What's the pick in 26 years? It's not negative, it's a fact. It's not about that way. I would say, Rick, about yes, the number, the point is not what you expect, but if he's only point 0.3 of 0.4 of Jack Hughes. For me, I don't see negative about that one over there. I still believe he's going to be a second liner. Now, the draft NHL 2022, it was not great. If you look about what the pick he is, because that's what we got, I really consider him as a second overall pick or a third overall pick. I consider him between Quinton Byfield and Shemnikov. That's what the kind of player he can
Yeah,
become Sarkozy in the future. So the time will tell us. I'm not worried about him. He's going to get his 25 goals per year, his 60 points per season, and that's what we expect about that. Now we'll see the future. What you're going to consider? Is it better Cooley? Is it better Cherechek? Everything like that. The time will tell us. But again,
yeah,
Kako
and
still looking again. Debrusk to him, 23 years old. Tage
exactly.
Thompson, he took him 5 years before he become who he is today.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just going to add to that comment from Rick. I mean, we haven't really seen a huge evidence of play from Slafkovsky. You got to keep in mind that even though he was up here for what, 39 games,
Yep.
he was injured in that time. He was suspended at one point and missed a couple games. Like there were extenuating circumstances. He wasn't put on some of the nights. He wasn't put on a particular lineup, a line that he should have been on. It takes time, and we have to be patient with that. It's not. We can't just take a snapshot and say, "Well, look at this. It's the worst pick in 26 years." Well, I can go down the list of the last 20 years and say the same thing initially about some of the first round picks that later on became great. And Jack Hughes is the first one that comes to mind. Like when he first came in, everybody, oh, what a bust. It's too small and he can't handle the NHL. And look at him now. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not suggesting he's not gonna be Jack Hughes. I'm not saying that, but he's gonna be a solid second line winger that is one of those people that complements. Once you have a good team, he's like that icing on the cake. Like he's
That's
gonna
the
help the
second thing I would
team.
say to you is a good point. When they pop up some kind of player like I would say like Byfield or those players like Lafreniere, right? They pop up with solid players, a solid team. Now you have Sarkozy coming with the bottom of the team right now, so it's not easy to produce long you have those kind of teams like a Montreal Canadian. So I think for me that's another point where you said the time will tell us. I still believe on Sarkozy for sure. At the end of the day, it's not always the first overall pick is the best. Look about Tim Suzla, Brenny Kachuk example. You're always going to have someone
Yeah,
at the below at the draft going to be better at the end. That's normal about this. The key is to be sure Sarkozy um, reach the expectation of Montreal Canadian staff when they draft him. Does it make sense? Like that's what the most important thing. It's not to compare him to any other player in the draft. It's to say, okay, Montreal was expect this with him. I don't know exactly what was the plan about him, but that's what I feel they have to figure out this in the next 3 years or 4 years. So patient for 2 more years with Sarkozy, and I think when he's going to reach 21 years old, when the Montreal Canadiens are going to be another step up, they'll be where they are at that moment. So that'll be interesting. See that,
yeah.
Mr. Anton, we're almost 30 right there. We have Stu beat us, so knock the door. Welcome back, Stu.
Hey,
Thanks to be
Stu.
with us. And then that's pretty much what we got here. We have Rick continues to cut the conversation. Thanks so much to sharing with you about that. For sure. Mr. Antap, I want to sharing with you. This is the Montreal Canadiens finally the end.
Finally, the end. Game 82.
This is the finale the end for the Montreal Canadiens. Game number 82. And this another chapter is going to conclude with Jonathan Drouin, I believe, for the Montreal Canadiens. I don't think so. He will return with Montreal. So you have a lot of the closed door is going happening for the next couple of weeks. We don't know what's happening with Mike Hoffman, who is the last game for them for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. But for me, this is the end of season 22-23, where we're going to overview that season Sunday night for the Ad Nation Live Tonight show. We don't go there, but I just want sharing this. And surprise limits on top, the Boston Bruins full lineup tonight. That's who they are.
Oh,
That's why people said, oh, you're going to be fall apart. You're not going to be great. Listen, they are in mission and nobody stopped them. Nobody. It's a rocket right now and nobody going to be in front. They're going to destroy everyone, each one of them in front of them. They are on another planet right now. And look, tonight, they could sit
yes.
player. You know what? No matter. We're going to finish this season. We're going to become the best team in NHL history. And we're going to do this again. Who? The Montreal Canadiens 76 77. So that's the mentality of what they are, Boston Bruins tonight. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see a great performance of the big bad Bruins tonight. Yeah, uh, don't take a Montreal easy tonight. They're going to show up and they're going to give everything they need to be sure to keep the momentum of the playoff start next Tuesday for them. Whatever is going to be in front of them, Florida Panthers and Canada, they don't care. They just want to roll it. The roller Corporation is really ready for the Boston Bruins. That's what they've been since the beginning of the season, Mr. Natap.
No, absolutely. I mean, they've had a season of all seasons, but I I kind of heard what Marco was saying yesterday, and I tend to agree. I'm not saying that they're going to lose or anything like that, but there is that possibility that because they haven't had that much adversity along the way, and this has come quite easily for them. They haven't even had to struggle. They have never had a prolonged losing streak. I think 4 games was
But they have a
the
reason
most.
behind that, Mr. Top.
They're very good. Yeah,
They are
absolutely.
very good. So
But
what are you going to do at playoff? They don't care.
well,
They
well,
just
what
continue what
happens
they
is
did. They never lose. They just continue what they're doing.
yes, yes.
They have
But what
experience
ends up
between that
happening,
team. They've been there. They know who they are, and that's what the reason. If it was a team like New Jersey, where they have a really good year, that would be a concern. They never been there. But that team right now,
yes, I understand that. But what ends up happening invariably in the playoffs is there's always a couple of teams, whether it's in the East, the West, a couple of teams that bring their game to the next level, and they're also better built for the playoffs than they are for the regular season. And you don't have to go further than a couple of years ago. Montreal was like that in the regular season. They were at the very bottom, barely scrape into the playoffs, and they made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals because they were finally a team, as Bergeron said. This past summer, I built this team so that they can win in the playoffs, not in the season, but in the playoffs. And so my thing is, if Boston encounters a team that's on a mission like that, and they can skate with them and probably even skate better. And even Toronto's, I think, a better skating team than Boston. And they impose a little bit of the same kind of physicality. Then you got to hope that the goaltending holds up because in the playoffs, let's face it, it's who has the hot goaltenders, and Boston has 2 of them right now. But there's other goalies out there, a Vasilevsky, a Sorokin, a Hellebuck. Like these guys
the
could
only
stand on
team
their
that's
head,
not top with a goaltender right now
steal.
could do something is when it's Tampa Bay Vasilevsky. Any other goal, Ali Bach, he don't have enough a good team in front of him. Allender Zorkin don't have a good team in front of him. Those teams are at the bottom, and unfortunately, they not carrying that team all the way. They can get beat one playoff series, but unfortunately, they don't have enough a good team in front of them to compete with Edmonton, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Vegas, and then Islanders cannot compete with Boston and the rest of the East, so Toronto, Tampa Bay. Uh, Good, hot, yes, but they cannot carry on the team all the way. But I can understand your point of view. You
Yeah,
need a
yeah,
goaltender, but you need a team with that team. It could be, I don't know, it could be Chesterkin example, right? Chesterkin could be the
yeah,
guy, the goalie, where he can be hot, but you have player in front of him too.
yeah. Of course, of course.
That's the point behind that part. But unfortunately for Winnipeg and but don't expect to be easy against those teams. It's just they don't have the depth of what they have other team in the top and the NHL. That's the reason they finish, 14, 15, 16 in NHL. It's the depth they have. But a hot team can pop up 7, 8 game, 10 game in the playoff. Could help, make some other team trouble for sure about that. But would be interesting. What could happen? I think that if a team to be dangerous for me is the Rangers with Chesterkin, right? The way you talk about the goaltending, that's
Yeah,
Chesterkin. And
yeah,
the last
yeah.
game at
Okay.
Chesterkin was unbelievable. They lost and who play again? The Toronto?
Uh,
No, no,
was in New
Toronto played
Jersey,
tonight.
I think.
The last game they
Was in New
lost, but
Jersey.
Chesterkin was unbelievable. And this is not a good sign. If you have seen Chesterkin like this, that's not going to be a good sign for the rest of the division. I think you can talk about, we're always looking for an underdog team, what the team
Yeah.
is not at the top, but behind just knock the door. I think the Rangers could be that team.
Oh, I think the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They lost 3-2, something like that,
in a
about
shootout.
that
Yeah.
one there. Mr. Nata, we have 15 games to talk about, and we can go all the way
Let's
that
do
talking about the
it.
playoff, talking about many things in hockey. I don't know if you heard that from, but I didn't look, miss. It's RG mentioned this. Lentaga is out for the rest of the year.
Yes, I just heard that driving in tonight. That they apparently declared him out for the playoffs. So that's
Very
a
bad news for
big,
the
big
Colorado
blow.
Avalanche about that one.
Yeah,
That changed maybe the situation with Colorado Avalanche. 1-2 injury changed
absolutely.
everything. Yes, that's a good point about that. The other things around you not in control. for that one over there for sure. Mr. Hunter, we have 15 games, so go to rock and roll everything here. This is the last. Well, we have prediction tomorrow, by the way, right? So we consider to make the prediction tomorrow. We just have no show,
Sure.
but we're going to make
Right.
the prediction tomorrow for everybody. So we'll conclude that. I'm going to make something special next week, guys, about the warm-up show, everything. So stay tuned. We're going to let you know about that. But Mr. Tap, by the way, we invite everybody, NHL.com /bracket. Look for the leagues called Abs Nation, and join the team now. I believe you can check. I did not look the update today, but you can check if you can make your bracket now, Mr. Tap. So here we go. Boston, Montreal.
Yeah, the first one right out of the gates. I'm going to try to keep these very short tonight, Coach. I know we got quite a few games to go through, but as you said, Boston is going full steam ahead, not really sitting too many players. I thought they did the right thing that they sat some players last week. So, players don't like to sit around too long. And I'm sure that that's partly them saying, no, if I can play, I want to play tonight. And, for them, they'd be breaking the record I believe Montreal has tonight if they won this game. So I think that'll happen. I think Montreal, we got Swayman is really the only backup here. And Monty is also confirmed to start for Montreal. So I'm going to take the Bruins to win this one by a score of 4-2.
4-2, Mr. Tap. 5-2.
Boston 5-2. Okay. Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
The game of the night.
And something's got to give here in this game. Florida, Sam Bennett is still recovering from, a groin injury. And, I mean, he could return as soon as game one of the postseason, but that hasn't been determined yet. But Florida's been playing some really good hockey lately. I mean, no matter what ends up happening, you got to give them credit in terms of where they were and where they've come. I think that's they finally sort of put their act together. The big problem will remain in net, right? I just don't know if Lyon can carry them into a playoff series. I know he's been playing well now, but as you know, you always want the more established veteran in net for the playoffs. It's these two teams play a very similar type of style. I think the Hurricane have a little bit more to play for since Florida has been confirmed in. They want to gain with a win here, and also that would determine that they win the division, and by all means they would avoid having to play somebody like the Rangers. But if they lose and New Jersey wins, we're going to have a change of leaders here, and they will be playing the Rangers themselves. So I'm going to go with the Hurricane just because I think there's more urgency in this game for them. And plus, I don't think they want to go into the playoffs on a losing streak, which they currently are on. They want to at least win the last game here. So I'll take Carolina by a score of 4-2.
4-2, Mr. Tap.
Yeah.
I go for Laser Panthers, Mr. Tap. 4-3.
Okay. 4-3.
Yep.
And next we have Detroit and
I just want to
Tampa
insert
Bay.
to King, Mr. Tap. So King, because they have only 1 point differential and they have the same number, the number of the W, we don't know yet. So if ever Carolina win and New Jersey win, honestly, they have more point. But if New Jersey win and the Carolina make only 1 point, Carolina New Jersey is going to have a number more the W. So they cannot break even tonight. So they have same the number the W and the win. One of the two win tonight. It's going to be so both teams win tonight. Carolina got it. If one of the two teams win, New Jersey win. Canada lose. New Jersey finish first. Mr. Getter. King.
Right.
Sorry.
In this game here, Coach, it looks like it's Husso and going up against Elliott. So their Tampa Bay is going with the backup, of course. Not a bad idea, given that they've had some injuries. Tampa Bay has over the last couple of weeks that have been lingering injuries. And the last person you want in that situation is Vasilevsky going into the playoffs to get hurt. I think Detroit pretty much is where they're going to stay. There's not going to be much movement there. Tampa Bay is not going to go anywhere. So in terms of the standings, it's a nothing game here. But again, Tampa Bay hasn't played great as of late, but they do play very well at home, and that's the advantage that they have here tonight. That makes them the favorite in my eyes, and I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win by a margin of 4-1.
4-1, Mr. Tap. You got it. 4-1, confirm. New Jersey and Washington.
Yeah. I don't know what version of Washington we're going to see. That's the only thing here. But, we had the version that went ahead and defeated the Islanders not too long ago. And then the other night they looked pretty bad. The Devils are traveling to Washington. The game means a lot, as we know, for New Jersey because they still have a legitimate opportunity to finish first in the Metro. They've been playing well as of late. They're one of the top offensive teams in the league. They've been getting some pretty good goaltending as well as of late. And tonight we have, I believe, Vanacek, who is not confirmed, against Kumper, who is confirmed. So I'm going to go with New Jersey winning on a positive note, and that'll put all the pressure in the world on Carolina to have to follow suit. So I'm going to go with a 5-2 score.
5 what?
5-2.
5-2. Confirm. There we go. Same score.
5-2. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And next we have Ottawa and Buffalo. With Ottawa, we have Sogart starting and confirmed, Anderson for Buffalo in this game. The Sabres, they return home on the heels of a 6-2 defeat to the Devils on Tuesday night. Currently, they're fifth in the division. They put up a great season, and they have to look at it from that perspective. I was listening to somebody today that was saying, you know what, this is how many years now that Buffalo hasn't made the playoffs, and you can't look at it from that perspective. They've had new management. They've had some good drafts. They've got some very good prospects in their system. And if you just follow suit in terms of improvement from one year to the next, I mean, this was a close call. It came down pretty much to the last 2 or 3 games that eliminated them from the possibility of the playoffs. So I like that from Buffalo's perspective. Ottawa, it seems to be the same story year in and year out, at least for the last 3 years. A poor start at the beginning of the year ends up coming back to haunt them. And you can probably blame that again this year. This will be a close game, I think. The two don't really like each other, these two teams. But Buffalo is at home, although they don't play well at home. I'll say that. But I'm going to take Buffalo by a margin of 4-3.
4-3. Sounds good to me.
Yes.
We want to welcome Mr. Eternal and Marco Larabie is in the house. Welcome back, both of you.
Welcome, guys. 4-3, yes. And next, oh, everybody's favorite team, Pittsburgh, against Columbus. Now, from Columbus' perspective, they're in a unique situation. They don't want to win, period. End of story. They want to remain there, and it looks like their goaltending situation kind of reflects that because they have, I believe it's Jari against Hutchinson going tonight, and both have been confirmed. Um, it's an absolutely nothing game to the Penguins. Um, I think there's going to be some quick and harsh changes made this summer as soon as the year is over with Pittsburgh, and I'm thinking more specifically with the upper management. Um, these are two teams that now are on the outside looking in, and given the amount of money that they paid up to bring back certain players on this team, something has to give. Now, uh, I'll admit that they've had great years. Malkin played all his games and put up some very good numbers. Letang, same thing, and he probably could have had better numbers if he hadn't missed as much time as he did. Uh, but it goes beyond that. There were trades that were made over the summer. Marino, Matheson that left Pittsburgh, and it really hurt them. The goaltending situation was not addressed. They banked on Jari to come back and pick up the slack, and he unfortunately has not been able to. So there's going to be a lot of changes here, but for the purposes of tonight, Columbus, I think, is going to be a no-show, and Pittsburgh will win by a margin of 4-1.
4-1 Pittsburgh tonight. Awesome. Confirmed 5-2 message top for me.
5-2. Gotcha.
Toronto
Okay.
and Rangers for nothing.
For nothing. And who's in net this time? I guess they went with Wall. Who's the backup?
Yeah.
So I guess the Leafs kind of knew what they were doing in terms of risk taking when they signed Nyes coming out of uh, and bringing him onto the team. They could have brought up a goalie, but they went the route of Nyes, which I think was the right thing. But like I said, it was a risk. The Rangers they found their way back into the playoffs this year, and similar to last year, they're a very good team from a statistical perspective. They ranked high in many of the metrics. The only thing I think that was not so high was their expected goals for. But when you have somebody the likes of Shesterkin in net that hides a lot of their mistakes as well, you can. I don't. I don't want to say you can overlook that, but you can live with that, I guess. This will be a really tight game. Not that it means a lot because I don't think the Rangers are going to move anywhere, and the Leafs are definitely stuck in second. But I'll take Shesterkin over Wall by a margin of 4-3.
4-3 message top. Got it. We want to welcome Paul. Paul Dufay is with us. Thanks so much, Paul, for your kind of work. We appreciate that, everybody. Um, thanks so much, Rick. And we got that one over there. The Winnipeg Jet versus the Colorado Avalanche message top.
Hey, the Winnipeg Jets. Hey, one of the two wild cards that we called out this year that would make the playoffs. You know what? I know what you're going to say, Coach, but I'll maintain my course on this. I think, yeah, they do have some holes, but this is a team that when they decide to play, they're a hard team to take out, and it all begins in net. I think Hellebuck uh, could steal games for them. Yes, their defense is a little bit more suspect than I would like to see them, but their offense, you got guys now like um, ever since they put Shifley on the wing rather than at center, we're starting to see much better dynamics with that first line, which of course takes a lot of pressure off of the second line who's been scoring. If Perfetti comes back into the lineup, that'll strengthen their team as well. Ehlers has been playing a lot better as well. I like a lot of things here, but Colorado's Colorado. Unfortunately, they received some bad news today with Landeskog and the fact that he's not going to be playing. So Winnipeg doesn't have much to play for here. That's why I believe Elliott has been not Elliott, Riddick has been confirmed as their starting goaltender against Georgiev. And Colorado has a lot to play for because they could get kicked out of first place in the division. So I'm going to go with Colorado to win this one by a margin of 4-2.
Got it, Mr. Tap. Same score, 4-2 for me.
Okay, beautiful. Next, we have Minnesota and Nashville. Tough one to call here. It's a crucial game for the Wild. I believe are they 3 points back
Yeah,
Colorado
no,
right
they
now?
are nothing to do with them.
Yeah, there's no way that they can catch them.
No.
Dallas has been holding tight there as well, so it almost looks like they're cemented in third in this division. But I think that they've been playing some decent hockey. Like they went beyond my expectations. I didn't think they'd finish off the season as well as they did. They strung together a lot of wins when we thought that maybe they wouldn't. Nashville, this is a team that I think overperformed beyond their expectations, and that's why we saw some wholesale changes at the trade deadline time, and we saw the announcement of a change in GM for next year as well, with the retirement happening. Uh, but you can't complain with the season Nashville had, given the amount of injuries as well that they've incurred. They're going to sit out. Minnesota's going to sit out Kaprasov as well. The last I heard, and why take a chance, right? He's been out for a while. Give him a few more days, and then hopefully he's ready to go for the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Minnesota to win this game by a margin of 3-2.
I go with Nashville, Mr. Tap.
Okay, 4-3. Okay.
Yeah. Anthony Manzalo is in the house. Welcome back, Anthony. Long time we don't talk to you. And we have Anne Rabinoff is with us tonight. Thanks so much to be with us. One more game is on tap.
Yeah, and we don't. I haven't to answer Marco's question. I haven't heard much about the severity of Erickson X injury, but that would be a big blow to Minnesota if he doesn't come back in the playoffs. It looks serious, but I haven't heard any confirmation. Maybe if somebody else has, they could let us know. Dallas and St. Louis tonight. Again, the Blues, they finished their back-to-back with Dallas tonight after that 5-2 defeat. St. Louis, we know the story there. They pretty much got rid of some of their players. They underperformed this year. Their goaltending was horrific. Defense underperformed. Some of their players, I thought, had off years as well. And so when all of that put together happens, you get what you get in terms of where you finish off in the standings. The Stars, they come into this game with a 1-point lead over the Avalanche for first place in the Central. If they win tonight, I believe, they will clinch the Central Division if they win. And,
Not
taking
necessarily,
on
Mr. Tap.
is it because of the tiebreaker?
No, Colorado have only 3 points behind with 2 games in hands.
Oh, that's right. They
One
have
point
two
behind,
games,
sorry.
not one. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They have two games to go. So there's a lot at stake with this game. I think Dallas has done their bit in terms of, counteracting with their punches and staying on top with Colorado. We'll see if it's enough by the end of the week. But I think they'll win tonight, and I'm going to go with a score of 4-2, and the goaltenders, I believe, are Hoffer for St. Louis. No, Binnington is confirmed against Ottinger.
Yep. We have the same score, 4-2, 4-2, Mr. Tap, about that.
Dallas
If
for
ever they are break, they are same number of points, Colorado have more
tiebreaker.
W's, so they have the break, the break-in.
The RW, yeah, the
Yeah.
regular wins. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that takes us to another game of the night, Philadelphia and Chicago. Hopefully, Nick will be a little bit happier if Chicago loses this game, but we'll have to wait and see. The Hawks will start Stalock, I believe, against Hart, but neither one was confirmed last time I checked. Um, both these two teams, I think we know what the situation is with them. They're hoping for the best come the lottery, and they will definitely be picking up some excellent talent at the draft. So that's what they're looking forward to, and rebuilding this summer or continuing to rebuild. In Chicago's case, Chicago's at home here. Of course, they'll want to obviously win this one for their fans, but I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do here. Um, I think Philadelphia wins this one, especially if Hart is the confirmed goaltender tonight. I'm going to take Philadelphia by a score of 3-2.
Confirm. I go with 4-3, Mr. Tap.
Philadelphia, yeah.
Yep. Edmonton, San Jose, Mr. Tap.
Ooh, you had to go there. You know what? This a lot of it, a lot of significance for Edmonton here, right? A lot of meaning behind this game. I think they want to continue to finish off on a positive state. They're 9-0-1 in their last 10 games, um, and they've just been looking very, very solid throughout these games. And you know what? They're peaking at the right time going into the playoffs. I think Skinner has been really the one of the positive stories on this Edmonton team this year. Started off as their number two and very quickly became their number one, and continues to hold that mantle going into the playoffs. Of course, ever since they picked up Ekholm from Nashville at the trade deadline time, that was another great pickup. They've gotten back Evander Kane into the lineup. They have four players that have had fantastic years, and I don't need to regurgitate their names. We all know who they are. Uh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to play Edmonton in the playoffs at any of the rounds. And I think tonight they finish on a positive um, case and win by a score of 4-1.
4-1, Mr. Tap. Awesome. I have 5-2 for Edmonton. And we have a good one.
Super Chat.
Super Chat, Rick Bengal. Rick Bengal did it, Mr. Tap. Congratulations. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you, Rick.
Bengal, for the Super Chat tonight. We appreciate a lot. Some hype. Kings, Ducks.
Kings Ducks again. Anaheim, nothing here. LA is still could finish fourth if Seattle wins and LA loses. So there's something at stake. So I'm going to keep it short and simple. LA by a score of 5-1.
LA 5-1, 4-2.
LA 4-2. Okay, got you. Number 14.
Here we go. Vancouver, Arizona, Mr. Tap.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Looks like it's the Delia against Vimelka going tonight. You know what? Arizona has been actually quite good this year at home at Mullet Arena. They're playing there again tonight. Vancouver really, this is, there's no reason even to be motivated for this game for them. Um, I'm going to go with the surprise here tonight, and I'm going to take Arizona to win this game by a score of 3-2.
Arizona 3-2. I go with Vancouver Mission Tap 4-2.
4-2. Okay.
And
And
finally,
our
the
last
last game
game,
of the night.
and almost the year, almost. And
This
it's
one I have
Vegas and
no clue.
Seattle. Yeah, it's a tough one. Just a couple stats: the Golden Knights are 6-1 in their last 7 meetings. The road team is 4-1 the last 5 times these guys have played. The Kraken are 0-5 in their last 5 versus a team that's above 500. So the Golden Knights are I would say they're small road favorites here. Vegas has actually been scoring goals, so I'm going to go with the Golden Knights to win this one by a score of 5-3.
5-2 Mission Tap. I select Golden Knight by a score of 4-3.
4-3, perfect. There we go.
There
So
we
we all
go.
go
That's
3 and 3.
conclude, guys. All the 15 games we have on the program tonight. We're going to do the play-by-play the next couple of minutes of that. That's conclude, guys. So we're going to go back the next time. We don't know yet tomorrow or the next week for one more show to set up this, but we're going to feel to come back to myself cap. So we're not going to say it's over yet. And I'm going to give the result possible next week, maybe Monday, Mr. Tap. I think we'll be appropriate to do that just before the playoff, everything like that. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely would be nice to look at everything in its conclusion for sure.
Yeah, absolutely
And
about that.
with
But
the
before
final
Mr.
standings.
Tap, we want to remind you one more time. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. He was greatness the last 2 years with a warm-up show, Mr. Tap. Thanks so much for everything you did so far. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Thank
We're
you,
going to see you
Coach.
next couple of minutes. But Mr. Tap, before we leave, one more tap. What do you think? What you're looking for tonight?
Well, it's not something I'm looking forward to, Coach. It's just I'll put it this way: there's 30 teams in action tonight. If you consider roughly 20 players, you're talking about 600 players that are playing tonight. I just hope that there isn't any injuries because we're at the end of the year and you want to see the teams at their best when they're in the playoffs. And it would be extremely disappointing and difficult if somebody gets hurt and really changes the fortunes for that team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm looking for the Carolina. That's the game to watch on the slate to see the impact on that one. Colorado, Minnesota have Dallas an impact, and then Vegas and Edmonton have another impact. So it'll be interesting. We want to thank all the moderators tonight, all the people in the chat. Thanks so much to be with us. Don't forget to click on the like. And one more time, it's on tap. Be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what, Mr. Tap.
Of course, you're 2023.
You did it again. Have an amazing, great night, Mr. Tap. Thanks so much to pop up a little bit late
Good night,
tonight and to
everyone.
cover the 15 game for me.
No problem, Coach. Anytime. Good night, Hockey Nation.